Welcome back to some of the best stories from r/TalesFromTechSupport. I hope you had a great day. Thanks for all the likes and comments on the last video. And now let's take a look at the first story. It's called Customer Service. I work as an IT consultant during the week and in a tech retailer at the weekends as a sales colleague. I'm by far the most technical in the store, so whenever I'm on shift, I get the technical questions and issues. The extent of this really isn't technical at all. We are talking basic queries about Wi-Fi extenders, routers, laptops, and simple troubleshooting. One Saturday, an older guy came in, looking for a decently powerful laptop to run large spreadsheets. We went through the usual sales process, talked specs, requirements, and general chit-chat. I got to know that he was retired, and these spreadsheets were a bit of part-time work he was being given from a friend to get a bit of extra money. We settled on a lovely laptop, somewhere around the £1,000 mark, which was quite pricey for somebody who is supposed to be retired, I thought. But he was very happy with it. He asked about getting the laptop set up, something we charged a staggering £79 for. I didn't really feel comfortable charging a pensioner so much for such a simple service. So I explained that it's a very simple next, finish exercise, and he should be fine. He agreed and said he'd give it a go himself. The next day he comes back in and finds me specifically and says, "I'm sorry, I couldn't work it out. Can I please pay for that setup?" Looking quite sad and a little embarrassed. I said, "Absolutely not. Take a seat over there and I'll be with you in 2 minutes. I sat with him for the next hour or so, going through his account details, setting up passwords, etc. and just generally made sure he was happy with using the laptop. I've never seen such a drastic change in a person's mood as I did that day. He was delighted and tried to force me to take some money personally as a tip, which I respectfully declined. I just told him that I couldn't in good faith charge him so much money for something that simple, and that I just wanted to know he had everything he needed and was happy with the service. I've done similar things since then for older customers who struggle with the tech, and I don't even hesitate in offering my time to them. I value customer service and caring for those in need, far above the profits of a multi-million-pound company. The next story is called They Need Power. I live in an area of the world where power outages are not very common, but at the time we had quite a major outage recently. A user saunters in with a ticket for me to find and replace the SIM card to his phone. So I replaced his SIM card. Then I said, "Alright sir, looks like you are all set. Good luck with your new SIM card. And don't forget the back of the card that has the reset codes if need be. Thanks. I hope I can actually use the data plan on this SIM card. The last one wouldn't give me data for whatever reason. That's why you're replacing the SIM card?" I thought I would get some work in during that power outage we had last week. And because my router was out of power, I thought I'd just use my data plan on the company phone. "Sir, you know that cell towers require power to operate, right?" "Huh? So you wasted our time to replace a SIM card that wasn't broken?" Thanks, have a nice day." He runs off before I can say anything else. The third story is called Reasonable Offer. I left my job in early June due to what I will charitably call major disagreements about remuneration. I've then signed up to the local unemployment office after scrambling to find the login info I used for the last time about 4 years and 2 computers ago. Curse me for not saving that to the cloud. Summer being what it is, job postings are very sparse, so I spent most of my time doing other things. Drone is the job counselor assigned to my case. Incidentally, she happens to be on vacation herself when I signed up, so my first few emails were met with automated responses. Unfortunately for me, she's also in charge of approving my unemployment benefits. So let's just say I got my July payment sometime around the middle of August. One of the conditions to receive unemployment is to not reject more than 2 offers per month without cause. Said cause can be almost anything reasonable, like the commute being too long, the pay not being enough, basically a bunch of somewhat logical reasons to reject a job. You can cheat the system and just apply and present yourself as the most unhireable person ever. And this won't count against you. The unemployment office does not have access to the end results of interviews. But I digress. One morning I received several calls from Drone, who is back from vacation with a fire burning in her heart, and the equivalent of a heat-based death ray directed at me. I noticed you have rejected the offer from Company 1. I'm calling to tell you this is your first warning. Company 1 posted, as far as I can tell, a decent offer, if a little low on the simoleons. The one problem, and reason why I declined, is that their infrastructure is 100% Windows Server based. I try to position myself as a Linux guy. I need to have at the very least equal parts Linux and Windows Server to not have this job negatively affect my career path. And the last Windows Server version I interacted with was 2012. I likely cannot use anything past 2016 without a refreshing course. I proceeded to explain this to Drone, but Drone isn't a computer person. I don't understand how, and I don't need to. One more infraction and your unemployment will be suspended. I was annoyed to be the Karen for once, but said, put me through to your manager. Now, bad move. Turns out manager is even worse. You would think me quitting because I tried to talk to the lizard folk in the first place would teach me something. But no. I explained the same situation to her, and her answer is somehow even worse. Drone is right, and actually I think you are being difficult on purpose. The heck do you mean difficult on purpose? We have sent you more than one reasonable offer for someone with your experience. You declined Company 2's very competitive offer. At this point I interrupted her. Company 2's opening is for an e-waste sorter. Yes, so it's in line with your computer skills, right? Absolutely not. I operate computers. My role in their decommissioning usually stops at the recycling center's gates. But a job is a job. The terms are pretty clear. I need to have a valid cause for rejecting a job. The job literally not being anywhere near close to what I have ever done should be a valid enough cause. All I am seeing is that you are not willing to work, so I will have to suspend your benefits. I was really losing it at this point. Listen carefully to me. This isn't my job. I do not work in recycling. But it's computers. This went on a loop for a much longer time than it really should have. At some point, I started asking for anybody with more computer literacy in the building. Hopefully someone specialized in IT recruiting. At this point, I'd have talked to our potted plant if it put manager out of my non-existent hair for a minute. Apparently, my local unemployment office doesn't have a recruiter specialized in IT, despite being located in the middle of an office district known to abduct entire classes worth of graduates every fall. 21st century my butt. Ended up having to call the National Unemployment Office and wait for an hour to have a 5-minute conversation with an IT specialist that acted like he will schedule training for Drone and Manager. I'm off the hook for now, but I don't know how long that will last. The last story is called Email Problems. I was working in first and second level support for some years. User was creating a ticket, complaining he could no longer open mails on his iPhone. Normally it's a basic ticket, where user forgot to update a new password in mail settings. So I took the ticket, without knowing that I would be solving it a year after ticket creation. After the typical things did not work out, we started to take more drastic actions, like fully resetting his iPhone. Even that did not fix the issue. When opening Mail app, it simply stayed on a white blank screen. Nothing happens. As I ran out of ideas and the user was mostly using his laptop for mails, the ticket stayed in my backlog for a while. After some months, I wanted to tackle the issue again to clean my queue. Connecting remotely to his laptop and going through his Outlook, I saw an abomination of a folder structure, and it finally struck me. This has to be the reason. A short PowerShell command gave me proof that he had accumulated a crazy amount of more than 14,000 folders. I asked him how he archived it, and he explained he created a new folder for every person he is in contact with, per month. He was doing this since he started at the company 20 years ago. After significantly reducing the amount of folders, he finally was able to open mails on his iPhone after 1 year. Thanks for watching the video to the end. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like, comment and subscribe. And if you have time, watch another one of my videos. Also, if you want to support me further, check out the channel membership or Patreon. And now I hope you have a great day. See you soon. Bye bye.